Last week I had a dream that I was writing a new song, and it had a new truth for me, and I was so excited I got up to sing it, and I started choking. And next thing I knew, I woke up, and I was choking, and I needed to cough, and I wanted a cough drop, and I had a deep down desire to get the song down before I forgot. Because I'd written this great song. I had all these lyrics in my head, and I wanted to get them down on a piece of paper, and I hardly knew what to do first. I needed to cough. I wanted a cough drop, and I had this desire to get the lyrics down and not forget the song. I mentioned that because there are three very different things: wants, needs, and desires. We get them all jumbled up in our head and in our hearts as something that's out there. I want, I need, a desire. But in fact, there are three very different states of being, and I'd just like to address them briefly. That wants, let's start with needs. Needs come from the physical. They come from the reptilian brain, the oldest part of the brain that says, I need to survive, I need to survive, I need water, I need air, I need food, and I need to excrete the water, air, and food. Those are things I need. Oh, and I need sleep in order to have enough energy to also. Those are needs. They're basic. Wants come out of what we call the paleo-mammalian brain, the old mammalian brain, that little mammal part of us that's still a mole and a shrew or a squirrel, and it knows enough to really want security and to want that nut that's buried over there. It knows vaguely about the importance of feeding and breeding and having pleasure and avoiding pain. That's what the old small mammal wants. Wants. Our wants come from that place of the environment for the most part. I need to eat. I want pizza. Or I want almonds baked in sea salt and coated with chocolate. Or I want to have only gluten-free food in my diet. Those are wants. Some would say they're needs. We could argue about that later, but just for the purpose of this discussion, you understand the difference between a want and a need. I wanted a cough drop, and not just any cough drop. I wanted that double salted licorice cough drop that only Dutch people like. I know because I've tried to share it with any number of friends over the years, and nobody likes it. But for those of us who are raised with this double salted licorice, nothing else can solve a tickly throat quite like that. So there I was in the middle of the night having a need to cough and clear my airway. I had a desire, a want for this salted licorice, but I had a desire that was stronger than anything to get the words down on paper. And it became the song that Sarah sang last Sunday. And I'm so happy that I overcame that want to go find the salted licorice, which was downstairs and it's down in that closet and just take a moment instead to follow my desire and write down the first couple lyrics to the chorus, which then became the song about letting go into the fire. I point that all out because this morning we're going to spend a little time building a field of affirmation and writing to ourselves, writing letters to ourselves that you're invited to seal in an envelope and put in our circle box where it'll be held until late in December of the year, and then we'll mail it back to you, presuming you've given us a good postal address and have a handwriting that could be read. So, but before we go to start writing that letter, I'd like to focus on this notion of desire as being, at some level, a higher state than our wants and needs. Not better or worse, but desire comes from that part of our brain which is the neo-mammalian cortex, the newest part of the brain. It's the part of the brain that's involved in language, in, planning, in abstract thinking. And there are some in the ever-growing field of sacred psychology, or what's sometimes called happiness psychology or soul psychology, who understand that desires actually come from beyond the brain altogether. They come from the soul. The word desire is from the Latin desire, from the stars. Desires come from beyond ourselves. Some say we were born with some innate desires. Sacred psychology would say that we have a deep-seated need as higher mammals to be reunited with the divine, to feel our connection to the wholeness. That it's not enough for us to just have our physical needs met and our wants met and our desires at the mind level met, but there is a part of us that is longing for, hungry for, being reunited with some higher purpose, some higher calling. Some would call it God. I would call it spirit. You might call it the goddess. You might call it the life essence or the infinite mind, but there is some part of us that is longing to be reunited from it with our sense of connection to all of creation. And that's fed by our desires. I point to myself as someone who really desires to write. For me, it's no trick at all to go without food for a whole day when I'm writing. To think about absolutely nothing except the song that I'm working on. Anybody else is totally sick and tired in my house of hearing that same chorus over and over. I've been going over for 5 hours, 6 hours. I'm in my 20th draft of the song, but there's nothing else that matters to me because it feeds not just my ego, I'm a songwriter, but a deep-seated part of me that longs to express my spiritual connection through music. That's my desire. Now, others in this room have different desires. You might really desire to go sailing on your boat on the lake at 15 knots and the wind moving through your hair because that sets your soul free. Or you might really desire to be with your grandchildren. There is nothing that unites you with the sense of the bigness and the continuity and the meaningfulness of life like holding the grandbaby. We all have different desires, but the end point of the desire is the same. It connects to something outside of ourselves, bigger than ourselves, points toward the stars, to the beyond, to the mystery. So as you prepare to write your letter, I invite you to think, I really want a new Corvette in 2015, or I want a new job, or I want my bank account to be better, Well, okay, but as you write, take a moment and ask yourself, what I'm writing, is it coming out of need, out of want, out of desire? Again, no better or worse. I'm not telling you what to do. I'm simply inviting you to consider these points as you write, as you open to the soul of your soul. At this time of the year in our culture, there's a strong predilection toward writing New Year's resolutions. And you might want to write some resolutions on your piece of paper, but I would ask you to consider instead writing some affirmations. Because New Year's resolutions, by and large, come from a place of focusing on the past as being undesirable and a golden-hued future out there somewhere which has what you really want. You don't want this, you do want that. An affirmation asks me to be in the present tense and build on what is, be open to what is. New Year's resolutions tend to be negative, although they're stated in a positive, they're hiding out in positive clothing. They really tend to be negative. I really am going to get my office cleaned out of all that clutter because I'm a slob and this place is a mess and I can't stand this mess, is the subtext. Can you hear that? As opposed to affirming, I live in a free, open, and welcoming creative space. That's not being Pollyanna. That is acknowledging what it is you want without rejecting what you don't want. New Year's resolutions also tend to come from a place of lack. I I must have a new partner because I don't have a partner or I'm so alone, or the partner I have is a jerk and I really want a better partner in this. I really want more money. I want to double my income in 2015 because I don't have enough. And I just don't, and my bills are blah, 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 blah. That's a New Year's resolution energy coming from a place of lack. New Year's affirmation energy might say, I live in an abundant world where all my needs are met and exceeded. Again, it's not just that I'm focusing on the positive, but that I'm building on what is and affirming and what is becoming without rejecting what is and what has been. Because all are part of who I am in this moment. Yes, I'd like to lose some pounds. Yes, I'd like to have more money. Yes, all those things out there too. But how I am, for the purposes of this exercise, how I am is perfect, whole, and complete for now. Because it's what I've got for now. So there are a couple of principles involved here. The first principle that we talk about a lot here is the principle of oneness, which is to say everything is connected. Everything is connected. Past, present, future are connected. Modern physics is telling us, astrophysics is telling us, there is past, present, and future all exist now. They always have and always will. That's a big concept we'll deal with another time. But the notion is that everything you say, think, do, plan, regret, is connected to everything else. In short, you are a powerful co-creator of your reality because what you say, do, think, feel affects everything in the universe. Everything, because everything is all connected. And what you focus on expands. If you focus on lack, there's not enough money in my life, I need more in 2015, what does the universe hear more than anything else? I don't have enough. That's what it hears. If you're a golfer and you want to get your golf ball up on the green, it's not helpful to say, I don't want to get it in the water. I don't want to get it in the water. I don't want to get it in the water. It is helpful to say, I'm aiming for the green. I'm aiming for the green. Because here's the secret not many people know. The universe is on your side. God is on your side is what I would say. But if you don't want to use the God word, don't use it. Say the universe, life is on your side. And life always says yes to your stated wants, needs, and desires. And if you're a negative subscript, if what you're rejecting, that what you don't want, is louder than what you do want, guess what the universe says yes to? Yes, you've got lack. Yes, your office is cluttered. Yes, you don't have, yes, you weigh too much. Yes. It'll keep reinforcing that for you. So, that's the big wind-up. Here comes the pitch. You are not here this morning in this room by accident. You could have stayed home. You could have gone to the movies, you could have gone out to eat with friends, but you chose to come here. And so did everybody else who's in this room with you. And you chose to come here because there's some part of you that wants to be affirmed in who you are and who you are becoming. And you have co-created a room full of people and a field full of energy to support you in that. So this blank piece of paper that you've got is a powerful invitation to step into a field of co-creative energy with the 100 other folks in this room. And so you're invited to use that blank space on that blank piece of paper to co-create whatever you choose. And then, here's the second part of the pitch. Finish it here. Don't take it home having the intention to finish it tomorrow when you got more time and have better, smarter words. No. Recognize that this is a container. We've co-created a sacred container. And recognize, too, that your willingness to put it in a box and let go of it. You've told the universe what you want to affirm in your life, And then you let go of it. Let life do what it does. And then in December, you'll get it back in the mail, and you can see how you did, how you feel about it.